Hello friends, welcome back to a new Do replay. We're jumping in again into the new Genesis format. I'm really hyped for it and yeah, let's go straight into it. I'm playing again the voiceless voice deck together with the Genesis cards, right? Not the Regenesis, the Genesis cards. And this time I'm playing against Goblin Bikers, and it's mixed with some Typhoon cards. This is a really cool deck, and it was a really a really tense game, right? And I tried my best. So yeah, let's go. I'm started. I won the die roll, and the thing is, my hand right here is pretty good, but I have some problems with it because I draw one prayers, right? And I draw Zafira and also pre-prep. The problem is I only play two prayers, and those two cards both require to search another prayers or send another prayer to the graveyard. So I can only use one of those if I don't shuffle this back. And I also have Pot of E, so if I have to activate the Pot of E in the beginning of the main phase, and if I draw the other one, my whole hand basically is dead. So there's a kind of risk involved in activating the Pot of E. But yeah, I'm going to main phase and I'm activating it anyway because there's a small chance that I draw the second one, and I have to get into my deck, and I cannot not use the Pot of E. So yeah, I just go banish the cost and then draw two, and thankfully I'm not drawing into another prayers. But the cards I'm drawing here are not really helping either because I already have a lot of voice engine which I can play with. Now I have even more, but yeah, this does not really help that much. Right here I'm activating Zafira, I'm sending the other prayers, and I add to my hand the other Zafira. I'm playing this over the Zaravis right now because Zaravis costs 5 points and I want to play a more non-engine, so I decided to play this. But the problem is this makes the old man a bit worse. In my deck profile, I'm also talking about the way you can build this deck, or the way I build this deck. Um, but yeah, I'm not playing a Saravis, a synchro Saravis, a ritual Saravis in this deck. I'm playing instead a Saphira because I want to have another target. So yeah, I add the Zafira, and then I start with activating Blessing, and then the only other play I have here is Barrier and Prayers. Here I decide to just use the Zafira, and then just go for the Ritual Summon, and I want to see if he maybe negates the low when I normal summon it, so I still have the barrier. So I search for the low here, normal summon the low, and then you use the low effect, get the radiance of the voiceless voice. If he negated the low, right, I could have just used the Sky Guardian to negate or something like that. And then right here I'm activating the barrier, and maybe it would have been like a good idea to activate the barrier before, because there was no reason to not activate it before right here. So I think this was a slight misplay, but did not matter in the end, I think. Then I added back with the blessing the Zafira, and then I used the Radiance. And I actually shuffle back the trap from the prayers from the hand to summon, because I want to have one prayers still in the graveyard, and then I special summon the Zaravis. Here I added to the hand, but I actually want to special summon it because um, the other way around, I could have also added him to the hand and shuffled back the prayers from the and the Pot of E from the graveyard. But then I have no prayers to banish it from the graveyard when my Skull Guardian gets outed. So I think this was the better way to just special summon the Saravis with the Radiance. I could have also used the blessing right here to also summon the Saphira, but I think there was no this wasn't a good idea because I used Pot of E, so I couldn't draw anymore, so it's way better to just summon it in the opponent's turn with the blessing. So yeah, I think this is the way. Then I'm think I'm still using the pre-preparation here because now I can actually activate it because I shuffled one of the prayers back, add another Skull Guardian, so I can actually decide what I want to summon with Blessing. Because Skull Guardian that cannot be destroyed by battle can also be nice. So then I add back with the add from the deck another low with Barrier, and then I pass the turn. Right here, this is not a really good board. I don't really like the board. This is like only 2 interruptions, and then like a draw with Saphira. So this board would have been way better if I played Sauravis, right? But yeah, there's some shortcuts you have to take. But I don't know if this is like the best idea to do. It could also be better to just invest the 5 points and also play the Sauravis. Um, if we look at my opponent's hand, I haven't looked at it before. He plays a Goblin Biker deck. I'm not really familiar with the Goblin Biker cards. I only know they're good against XYZ decks, and I know Terratop. Terratop is for sure a good card. They have an XYZ 3, they have XYZ 6, I think, and he also has some Radiant Typhoon cards, and also has MST and Ghost Ogre. All of those cards are like really good against my deck, so he has a kind of quite nice matchup, right? Because those 2 cards really counter us heavily. And yeah, then he actually starts with the MST and he targets the trap. And right here, I have 2 options. I can just yeah, let the trap be destroyed because I cannot chain it, right? Because he's doing it in the draw phase. So if I let the trap be destroyed here, I lose in a pretty strong interruption, because if I summon the Saphira in his turn, I will have two ritual monsters, so I can actually pop 2 with Radiance of the Voiceless Voice. So I decide actually here to use the negate of Skull Guardian to protect the Radiance to be able to pop 2 cards. Yeah, this is why I'm negating it. And but yeah, he still has the Ghost Ogre and stuff, so it's really hard for me to win this game. Then he uses the Terratop, then I immediately use the Blessing, so maybe I can draw a Droll because I have Droll in the deck. So I he searches the Takatomborg, then I tribute the low. Right here, I could have also used the low from hand. This would have been a lot safer because in DD Crow is in the format, right? So tributing the low here is quite risky, but I think it's fine to do it right here to take the risk because I want to still have the low in the deck here as a follow-up. And I already use a Skull Guardian, and the Skull Guardian still has the boost. If it gets banished with the low, then it will lose its boost. But yeah, I don't think it's like the worst thing if the low gets banished here. So I think it's fine to just keep this in hand to have it as follow-up together with Skull Guardian and Prayer. So this is like a guaranteed play, right? If I have this in the hand, so I wanted to keep it in the hand in case my board gets broken, because it's already half broken because I had to use the negate of Skull Guardian. But he has no Crow, so I can actually resolve the low and then also draw 2 cards. And right here, I'm drawing 2 Genesys code, which is like, yeah, whatever. It's good in the next turn, but it doesn't help me right here. So I actually discard 1, so I can use the effect to get something from the banished pile back in the next turn if I get something banished, one of the Regenesis monster. And then right here, I'm doing a big mistake actually. I'm using the effect of low. I'm actually playing 4 cards that I can set with low. I only play 1 barrier, 2 blessing, and 1 radiance. And I don't know why I did this, but I activate the Yada blessing out of my deck. And right here, I should have seen that he used Terratop and added Target Tomborg, which heavily indicates that he's playing a deck that can make XYZs. And XYZ decks can play Zeus, right? And I also did another mistake. I special the Saphira in the defense mode, which again is a big mistake because now he could have he can just overlay an XYZ, go into the battle phase, run into the Saphira, because he can only attack the ritual monsters because I have the barrier and the low on the field. But right there, he could have just done it. This has to be in attack mode, so he cannot just easily run into this and just overlay for Zeus and wipe my whole board. And also use this effect blessing and place one card in the spell trap zone. There's no benefit of that because yeah, then he can maybe pop another one, but it's way better to have it just for the next turn, to have it low, because now when my board gets nuked with Zeus, which actually probably is in his deck because he's playing an XYZ deck, and also yeah, Takatomborg and Tarot Top, so I should have been way more careful, right? But right here, I'm just going for the blessing, and I think those two small mistakes, in the end, it could cost me the game, right? So setting this card and also special summoning this in defense mode were two big mistakes. And sometimes like the small things can actually matter a lot, and you can see how this match goes. Now he goes for the Goblin Biker Gabonga and use its effect, add another Goblin Biker, and then it goes on. He detaches one Goblin Biker, and then he tries to actually attach the Sky Guardian, but he cannot do that because it's protected, targeting protected with the barrier, so he has to out the barrier first. But yeah, again, now he's going for another level 3 that he specials, goes for another rank 3, and this one can pop spell traps. And right here, he tries to pop the barrier, and I'm like, okay, I know what he wants to do. He actually maybe wants to pop the barrier. I don't think I have to stop it because like there's I don't care if he runs over my low. I don't care if he runs over my Saravis, right? So, because they cannot, the monsters are not really useful anymore, right, on the field. But this is actually a huge mistake, as I said before. If he runs over my Zafira, then I can only pop one anymore, and I should have just used this effect to just pop both, and then he wouldn't have been able to out the barrier so easily. Still, this should have been in attack mode. So yeah, there are a lot of small mistakes right here, and which actually cost me the game. And now he can attach it, right? Because he can actually target now, so he can pick apart my board now. And I think here, when he used the Bonga effect to attach it, I should have used the Radiance, but I did not. I tried to wait with the Radiance until he threatens it, but yeah, now he just goes end of main phase, and in end of main phase I cannot pop both, so he has a guaranteed Zeus, and he can now attack over my low because the barriers is not there anymore. So yeah, this was a huge mistake there to not I made 3 mistakes in this game, and now it costs me actually everything because now he just goes Zeus, and yeah, I can pop the Zeus now. Wow, there's like no benefit. He doesn't even ogre that because there's no benefit, and I would have still lost, right, because he had ogre in the hand. But it's just a thing. So small things can actually matter. Right here, actually, he nukes my board, but I still have the prayers, so I can use the prayers and then special summon this guy. And yeah, I don't know if this is actually the correct play to get the other Skull Guardian out of the deck. Yeah, I don't know. This could have also been done differently because this doesn't help me there, right? But I think it was okay to do it, to just immediately have the option to just norm some below and then have a negate on the board. Now he follows up with the Radiant Typhoon cards and goes for another Radiant Typhoon search, special summons another, and then right here searches another one, can go for another rank 3, I think. Yeah, just goes for another Gabonga. And then now he can special summons the Gone Wild. If you control no monsters, all monsters you control are goblin monsters. You can... Oh, he actually norms it, right? He norms it because Terratop doesn't have to be normal, right? So yeah, he norms the guy, and then he can special summon the the Goblin Biker Clatter Sploder. This guy is actually pretty broken because you can easily trigger the Gumbawonga in the next turn with it. So yeah, goes for another rank 3, then detaches 2, draws 1, and now can overlay into the Armor Fortress and then search for the full armor XYZ trap, and now has a big setup. Also got an impulse, right? And then goes for the Lancer. And with the Lancer he can, I think, now attach my my voice guy. Yes, yes. No, it was with the Goblin Bikers Gone Wild, because if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one card on the field, attach it to one Goblin XYZ monster, yeah, and then he attaches my Skull Guardian to the Gabonga, sets the full armor XYZ, and now everything is gone, right? And the problem right here is I also have like no follow-up, because for no reason I used the blessing in my opponent's turn, so my low cannot set another one. Yeah, this was a huge mistake to play that greedy. Sometimes I'm playing way too greedy, but here I top deck the Pot of Extravagance, which is actually a good top deck because I don't really need my extra deck, so I can just easily draw more cards. But I decide to use the Genesys code and draw phase anyway, to just go for the Archfiend. And then I'm going to search right here. It could have been also clever to just go for the Warrior instead, to be able just to bounce the Gabonga, so he won't be able to attach my cards. But I was thinking like, yeah, if he attaches my card and then I can out this, I can add this back maybe in the opponent's turn. So I just wanted to have this guy in rotation, right? So this was my thought behind that, but it was not probably not the correct choice. I should have maybe instantly went for the Warrior on the field. But right here I'm actually really low on resources. He gets a lot more back, so it's really hard for me to do anything right here and to break the board. And now I actually draw evenly, which is like an insane draw here. And I actually turned off the sound. I think it's better if I turn off the sound so it's not so loud. And then I actually go for evenly matched here. This, yeah, kind of hurts him a lot, but he goes for Ashura King. This is just a monster negate for free materials. I don't know, yeah, but in this situation it's like fine to just leave it there. And then I just ask if he just gets any effects from somewhere else. No, he only has those effects. So then I activate the prayers. And then right here I'm ditching the Warrior, which I actually cannot do with the prayers. I can only use light monsters. I'm seeing that right here, so I just fix it, right? And it also would have been the worst play to do that. It's like always better to just stitch the low right here, and then to just chain block the effect of Skull Guardian with low, and if he negates a low, I just search for another Skull Guardian. The problem right here is I wanted to have a low in defense mode, but when I normal it, I won't be able to get a low in defense mode. But yeah, yeah, he actually negates the low, which is clever because he cannot negate then after that, because then after that I will have the Skull Guardian to be protect, then I normal the low, and then I special the Warrior because this one has 2500 defense. And right here I'm in a really dumb situation because I want to have the Genesys Warrior back, because I'm so low on resources, because I went through all my ritual monsters, through all my low, through all my spells of the and traps of the Voiceless Voice. I went through nearly everything, but not the Regenesis engine. But I want to have this back, but I don't think I can get it back because I have to out the Ashura King here, because in the next turn he can just go battle phase, run over the low, and then my Skull Guardian is basically useless. So I decide to use the effect right here of the Warrior to just bounce back the Ashura King, and then the threat is out of the way. but he also uses impulse. I just negate the impulse, and he uses now the ogre, which seals the deal here, right? Because now my Skull Guardian is out of the way. I still have prayers engraved, but I went through all my Skull Guardians, so this game is over. I did not see the ogre coming, and yeah, this just fucks me completely up. And then yeah, right here, it's just over. I wanted him. I wanted to see if he has like follow up, because maybe I could have done something, but yeah, he has follow up, and then I just scoop because I see, okay, this game really is over. There's nothing to do. And I'm not able to win this with a 50 attack points monster. And then right here, I'm going first again. His hand is full of non-engine, but he only has like one engine cards. And my hand is actually kind of fine. I have the Pot of E, I have Genesis Dragon, but again, I have another Prayers in hand, which I really hate to draw this card. Sometimes it's good to draw it because it lets you play, but yeah, if you draw it together with other stuff, this can just easily let you get out of resources. Right here, I draw another Droll and another Skull Guardian, which, yeah, it helps me to play here, right? Without the Skull Guardian, I wouldn't have been able to play, so I activate Barrier and he uses Ogre. And Ogre on my single barrier just ends my turn here, right? So I just have to pass, right? Then it's his turn. His hand isn't that great either, but he top decked another engine card to just add in the draw phase, which is important here because I have draw. He adds in the draw phase another Radiant Typhoon card, and then he normals one, uses the effect, gets another MST, which is devastating against my deck. The MST just cooks this whole deck, and then I can actually use the draw. And I don't know if he normals or special this. Oh yeah, he special this. If you have a Mystical Spell Typhoon or your opponent controls no spell traps, you can special summon this card. So he special this and normal this, and then he can just overlay. And I think he makes a big Zeus right here. Just goes for the Fortune Tune, and then yeah, Downerd and Zeus. So he has its 2 materials Zeus plus Mystical Space Typhoon. And then it's my turn. I actually get the Flying Sea, which is a really cool card against XYZ decks, right? But I still have no engine, no way to play, and he gets the Goblin Biker Breakout, which is a monster that lets him play. But he can... no, it's not a monster, it's a spell. But he doesn't want to retribute his Fat Zeus, so he just attacks and sets a card and then passes. I finally draw a card, which lets me play the Zafira, and then I just use the Zafira, get the other Zafira. Now I can just tribute it to special summon the Skull Guardian, and I have the Prayers Engraved, which is really important if he outs the Skull Guardian. But he actually has his DD Crow and banish the Zafira, which is a really good play here, but he did not expect that I have the Heartthrown Prayers. How could he actually, right? This is like only a 2-off. Then I use the Heartthrown Prayers and special summon the Skull Guardian effect, and I get low right here, and then I normal summon the low, use the effect. I'm getting the Radiance here because I know he has the Mystical Space Typhoon and also the Divine Arsenal Sky Thunder. So yeah, and also my barrier was gone. Then I'm thinking for a bit, and then I actually use it, and he just changed the MST. Yeah, but there was no point in using it, but I don't think this would have helped either, because if you use a Zeus, I cannot use in the battle phase. So I think the better thing right here would have been to just not use the effect of low, right? If I don't use low effect, I can just go battle phase, attack over the Zeus, and if you use the Zeus effect, the Skull Guardian gets popped, right? Then I use just prayers, special summon it back, then I can also special summon back the low, and then I can use the effect to get the trap. So yeah, again a misplay, which has severe costs for me, right? Because not having the trap is like one interruption less. He chains the Goblin Biker Grand Breakout. Yeah, I can just negate that with Skull Guardian, which I do. And then I use the effect, special summon another Skull Guardian, then effect low, special summon low, and then I actually can special summon the Regenesis Dragon right here, and I can still attack directly, right? And with Dragon, I kind of have an okay board here, but there should have also been a Radiance of the Voiceless Voice on top here, right? So, but yeah, sometimes you never enter it, but he braked, he has no engine, so I should have win this game. Yeah, he just surrenders. And then we go for game 3. He lets me go second. My hand is actually kind of good. I have Regenesis Code, one engine, I have Saphira, the other engine, I have Evenly, I have Flying Sea, and also Pot of E. But his hand is exceptionally good. He has Iron Thunder, he has Speedroid Terratop, he has Grand Breakout, and another Grand Breakout. This card is exceptionally important because it outs Flying Sea. This is one of the XYZ decks that can actually out Flying Sea by just using Goblin Grand Breakout and tribute one monster and especially some one Goblin monster, right? And he also has DD Crow, so his hand is really stacked. He has a negate for my Evenly, he has DD Crow, he has Terratop, and he has the out for the Flying Sea. So this is kind of a custom hand, right? And but my hand is also custom, so there's nothing I have to say there. Then he goes Terratop, use the effect, get Takatomborg, and then special some Takatomborg, and then I use Flying Sea here because I kind of have to use it. But yeah, he has the out. Sometimes they have the out, right? So he uses the out, gets a free Goblin Bikers Gone Wild, use the effect, gets another Goblin Biker, then goes for Gabonga, and use the effect of Gabonga, gets Duck Charger, and then special summons this one, gets Grand Entrance, and then he overlays, yeah, then he goes for the Armored XYZ again, draws one card, draws into an Ogre, which is kind of crazy here, because Ogre is so good against my deck. It's like a really strong card, and not a lot of people play actually Ogre. They rather play like Whaler or something like that, or Droll. But Ogre is like a really strong card, and yeah, then goes for the Grand Entrance, and detaches one, use the effect, rebonds one, and then right here he goes for another for the Fortune Tune, and then he overlays. This card is also pretty crazy. I haven't read that before, but its effect is super strong. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect on a field quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, take control of one monster your opponent controls. Also for the rest of his turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So yeah, just a non-target take control, and also gains 500 attack and defense for every link rating. So in this case it gets 7x 500, so it's actually kind of crazy, this card. And yeah, then he gets back the charger to the hand, and then sets free Iron Thunder. Yeah, if he did not have the Iron Thunder here, I think I could have had a chance, but yeah. Then I use Pot of E. Right here I'm doing a mistake, because Iron Thunder is actually the card that's the most played to negate spells and traps, right? If you go first, that's one of the most sided cards to be able to out some spells. So there's a chance that he, for example, could have negated the Pot of Experiment. So it's and Iron Thunder pops everything in the same column as the spell that's activated. That's right here. And if you do destroy that card, then destroy any other card in the same column the destroyed card was in. And that are in the monster zones or spell and trap zones, right? So if I just activate it here in the zone of this, you tap of the future Sexel, then this also would have been destroyed, and I would have outed this card. So yeah, it's not that clever to just put it there. And you will see the same thing I'm also doing in the battle phase with Evenly. I should have just activated it here, right? If it gets negated with the Iron Thunder, I can just pop this guy with the Iron Thunder. So yeah, but you're always more clever the next time. And Iron Thunder is like not a card you play a lot against in the TCG, but in the Genesis format, this is a card that has no points. So I think you should expect this card to be sided in game 3 or 2, right? So yeah, the evening gets negated, then it's hard for me to actually break this. Then I activate the blessings to be just able to ritual summon on summon of something. Then I activate the code. And I special summon the Genesys Archfiend, then Archfiend effect, and I think a long time here, get the Warrior, and then use the effect to just take control and reborn actually the Gabonga. But I am actually activate the blessing, and then he can reborn his stuff, and then use Skull Guardian's effect to search, get Saphira, and then the low comes back to the field. And he also takes the low. So I think again, I did a mistake with the Regenesis code. I was way too greedy again. I should have just special summoned the Warrior. I can still do it now, but I would have outed the whole thing, right? And he couldn't have snatched both of my cards. So it would have been better. I can still establish my board now, but it's a bit too late. I can just make another Skull Guardian, right? But he got a lot of my resources here. And yeah, then he also gets another Goblin Biker card. And when this goes to the graveyard, he can attach another card. So yeah, now he can attach the Warrior. And I actually have to chain the Warrior. And right here I get my Skull Guardian to the hand. I think the play is fine. I could have also get this or this to the hand, but I did not think that this would have has anything to do. I did not read that it gains 500 for every rank that the XYZ monster has, so I did not expect this card to be strong in the opponent's turn. Yeah, and then I just special summon another Skull Guardian, null the low, get back, and then he uses its effect. In the end phase, I just negate it, right? And you notice he still did not use the Ogre or the Decro, so he can still use them both in my effect, which in my turn, in his turn, which is actually kind of scary. And yeah, then he draws another Radiant Typhoon card. I have to negate that because if he searches another MST, he can just pop the blessing, and then I won't have another follow-up, because my plan right here is use the blessing effect, tribute the low, special summon another Skull Guardian, then low effect, special summon back, get a trap, pop 2 cards. So this would have been the thing, but yeah, the top decking of the Radiant Typhoon card is such a painful thing here. And then he goes for the Mech Beast, which is a sign I have to use the blessing now, because otherwise it will get popped. And now he used the Ogre, and the Ogre right here is super devastating. This just destroys the whole plan I had, and now he can just pop the other card, and yeah, then it's pretty much game over for me, because he can now do everything he wants. I have nothing left to just interrupt him, and the cards he had were like, they came when it hurt the most. So yeah, and he really hurted me with them, and he just goes for the Goblin Biker combos and goes for another Gabonga. I think this is the, yeah, no, it's not the third one, but he just goes for another Gabonga, gets another Goblin Biker gone wild, and then use the effect in graveyard, detach one for the Boom Mac, and then you can attach my Sky Guardian, which plays around the prayers. Yeah, I cannot use it there. And then this one actually will now have a lot of attack because he just goes for another Gone Wild, just normals it, and then goes for the Crazy Beast. So he has like 9 rankings on the field, right? So this one gets a lot of attack points. It's like 500 x9, so 4500. Goes battle phase, and yeah, now he can run over everything and also do a lot of damage. And then goes for another Zeus, and this is like a really much. And I'm just adding that the Archfiend, and then it's my turn. I top deck roll, which does not help here. I needed that 2 turns before, and then I show the Sky Guardian, use the Archfiend effect. Then Archfiend gets me the Genesys Dragon. Right here the plan was to just overlay for Dingirsu. Just special summon the Genesys Dragon, overlay for Dingirsu, and then could have maybe outed Zeus or anything else, right? But yeah, he actually smells it, right? So he uses the effect of the Spoiler and rebounds it, and then just gets the Archfiend and attaches it, and right here he just has too many resources. There's no way I can break this anymore and just out everything he has. I tried, but it's really hard to do because I now add Sky Guardian, and then he also has like a Crow, right? The Crow just seals the deal completely, because now I cannot ritual summon anymore. I'm just completely out of the game, and yeah, I just lose this game here. There were too many misplays from my part in this game. I made a lot of misplays in this. It were all small misplays, but they had a huge role in this. And also, yeah, he had too strong non-engine, and the cards really hit where it hurted the most. And the Ogre right here, the Iron Thunder, the Crow, also the Goblin Biker Breakout. He had all those cards had a really important role. They outed Flying Sea, evenly matched everything, right? So it was really hard to win this. Maybe I could have won it when I played it in a different way, but I saw no real way and no real chance to win this game here. I think it was also important to show you a match where I lost, right? Because you can learn a lot of matches you do not win, and when you do misplays, you have to analyze it and see, oh yeah, I did not play that correctly. I should have maybe played differently in the next game. So always when you look for a match, try to also review the matches you lose, because you learn a lot of those mistakes, and try to avoid them the next time. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.